Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Subodh Jadhav English Solution, and today we are going to learn class 8th Honeydew's poem, that is The Last Bargain. Okay, let's go to understand this poem line by line, which was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Before going to start to understand the poem stanza wise, some information is given there. Let us understand that also. A bargain is an agreement in which both parties promise to do something for each other. Bargain means what? It is an agreement where both parties who promise to do something for each other. Someone is looking for work waiting to be hired. Someone, it means that someone who is looking for work and he is waiting to be hired himself. Okay, he strikes a bargain but thinks it worthless. He got a bargain but he thought that it's worthless there. He tries twice again but doesn't like either. He tries twice there to bargain himself but doesn't like anything there. Finally, in the last bargain, when he is hired for nothing whatever, he is happy as never before. Finally, in the last bargain, he was hired for nothing and he is happy as never before because of that bargain. So what is that bargain and why it is the best? Let us understand through this poem. What happened in the last bargain? Who hired him? We are going to understand in the last stanza only, and why that bargain it is the best we are also going to understand in the last stanza. So let's start to understand stanza wise this poem. First stanza of poem, The Last Bargain, Rabindranath Tagore. What is given there? Let us understand. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. In the morning, when the poet was walking on the stone-paved road, he cried there, come and hire me. It means that he wanted to be hired by someone. Therefore, he cried there, come and hire me. Hire means to engage someone on payment. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. The king who came there with a sword in his hand. And what he said? He held my hand and said, the king who held the hand of that poet. And the king said, what the king said? I will hire you with my power. Okay, he wanted to hire that poet with his power. Okay, but his power counted for naught. Naught means worthless. Okay, it means that the poet said that his power counted for naught. It means that his power was we can say that worthless, and he went away in his chariot. Therefore, the king who went away from that place because the poet refused to go with him, because the power only that cannot hire the poet. Okay, this is given in the first stanza. What is given in the second stanza? Let us understand. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut door. That was the time of afternoon, and the sun was very we can say that the environment, it was very hot in there, and the poet who was wandering on the street, okay, and all the door it was closed. I wandered along the crooked lane. Crooked means curve. Okay, that road was crooked. That road was curvy road there was, and he was wandering on that road, and the atmosphere, it was very hot. An old man came out with his bag of gold. Okay, an old man who came there with a bag of gold. Okay, and he pounded and said, pounder means what is a pounder? Pounder means thought. That old man who thought there, and that old man said, I will hire you with my money. And that old man who wished to hire the poet with his money. He weighed his coin one by one, but I turned away. That old man who was counting his money there, his gold money there, but the poet who turned away from that place, the poet who left away from that place, because the poet who did not want to hire himself on the basis of money, because that money who cannot hire him, therefore he turned away, he left away, he went away from that place. That gold coins, it was valueless, okay, that cannot hire him. Okay, let us understand third stanza now. It was evening, the garden hedge all a flower. Okay, now this is the time of evening and the garden hedges were all full of flowers. It means that in that garden, the full of flowers were there. Okay, the fair maid came out and said, the fair maid means a beautiful girl who came out from there and said, I will hire you with a smile. It means that that beautiful girl, that fair maid who wanted to hire the poet with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tear, but her smile who turned into pale and melted into the tear. Later than, after some time, her smile which becomes pale and melted into tears, and she went back alone in the dark. Finally, so she went back alone into the dark. Okay, that is given in the third stanza. It means that one beautiful girl who wanted to hire him on her smile, but later than it paled and melted into tears, and she went alone back into the dark there. Now the last stanza is there. It's a very beautiful one. Let us understand. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. The sun glistened means shone, shine. Okay, the sun who shone on the sand and the waves broke waywardly. Waywardly means without any order. That waves that was moving waywardly without any order here and there. A child sat playing with shells, and there was a child who was playing with the shells there, who sat there, and that child who sat there and he was playing with the shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. That child who raised his head and that child who seemed to know him. It means that the child who looked at him like that, the child who know the poet, and that child said to him, what the child said? I will hire you with nothing. It means that the child who wanted to hire the poet with nothing. It means that that child, he was not giving anything to the poet. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. It means that the poet who agreed, and thus the bargain was stuck there. It means that the deal was settled there. He has never been happier before. It means that the poet was very happy to hire himself by the child. Therefore, he was very happier there, and the child's play made him a free man. And finally, to play with that child, it made him a free man. It means that in the last stanza, he was hired by that child, and the child who looked at him, that just like that, the child who know him. Okay, and because of that, the poet, he was hired with nothing there. This is the poem of Rabindranath Tagore. It is over here. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. We will meet in another video again. Thank you and take care.